In the realm of wild hypotheticals, one of the most intriguing questions about big cats is whether a tiger could swim vast distances across open waters. Tigers are known for their remarkable swimming ability, often defying expectations when it comes to navigating aquatic environments. Observations of these majestic predators show that they are comfortable in the water, using their powerful limbs to paddle gracefully and efficiently. This natural aptitude for swimming raises a fascinating question. Could a tiger, given the right circumstances, cross an ocean and swim hundreds of miles? Tigers have long been observed in various habitats where water is a common feature. In parts of Asia, for example, these big cats have been seen swimming across rivers and lakes, sometimes covering impressive distances in search of prey, to cool off, or to move between patches of forest. Their ability to swim is not merely a defensive tactic. It is a survival skill that has allowed them to thrive in diverse environments. There are documented cases of tigers making the journey between islands in regions like the Sundarbans, where the landscape is a labyrinth of waterways and mangroves. These instances demonstrate that tigers are not only capable of swimming but can also endure extended periods in the water when necessary. The physical structure of a tiger is ideally suited for swimming. Their muscular bodies, powerful forelimbs, and broad, padded paws enable them to generate substantial force with each stroke. Unlike many other felines, tigers do not shy away from water. Instead, they seem to relish it. They use their tails as rudders to steer and maintain balance, and their streamlined bodies help reduce resistance as they move through the water. This combination of physical attributes allows tigers to cover remarkable distances when motivated by hunger, the need to cool off, or territorial pressures. In fact, there are anecdotes and local lore about tigers that have been seen swimming across large rivers and even between islands, suggesting that these animals can tackle more water than previously assumed. One must consider the environmental context when exploring the idea of a tiger crossing an ocean. In regions such as Southeast Asia, the presence of numerous islands and narrow straits has created natural corridors for animal movement. Tigers have been known to inhabit coastal areas and even venture onto small islands, indicating a degree of adaptability when it comes to aquatic travel. This behavior is thought to be influenced by factors such as prey availability, human encroachment, and habitat fragmentation. In these cases, the tiger's willingness to swim is driven by the necessity to find food or escape from dangers on the mainland. The distances involved in these island hops are often significant, though they are generally limited by the width of the water channels in the region. Now, consider a far more extreme scenario. What if a tiger were forced to swim from Asia to the Americas? The sheer distance of such a journey is daunting, measured in thousands of miles rather than the few tens of miles that some tigers have been observed to cross. To entertain this possibility, one must examine both the physiological limits of the tiger and the external factors that would either aid or hinder such an endeavor. On one hand, tigers are incredibly resilient and have demonstrated surprising endurance when swimming. Their natural energy reserves, combined with their ability to pace themselves in water, could theoretically allow for long-distance travel if conditions were favorable. On the other hand, the open ocean presents challenges that are far beyond what these animals have encountered in their evolutionary history. The open sea is an environment characterized by vast, featureless expanses of water, unpredictable weather, and strong currents. Unlike rivers, lakes, or coastal waters, the ocean lacks the natural landmarks that tigers might use for navigation. Exposure to saltwater can also be taxing on the skin and fur of any animal not adapted to such conditions. For a tiger, which relies on its thick, striped coat for both camouflage and protection, prolonged exposure to saltwater might lead to deterioration of its fur and skin, potentially increasing its susceptibility to infection or injury. Moreover, the constant threat of dehydration and exhaustion cannot be overlooked. While a tiger is a proficient swimmer, its survival in the open ocean would depend on its ability to find a sustainable balance between energy expenditure and rest. Without periodic access to food and fresh water, even the hardiest of tigers would quickly find themselves at a disadvantage. In addition to the physical challenges, the psychological strain of such an ordeal would be immense. Tigers, like all predators, have evolved within ecosystems that offer a degree of predictability and shelter. The open ocean, with its endless horizons and relentless motion, would represent a profound departure from any environment a tiger has ever experienced. The stress of constant exposure to high winds, waves, and the potential threat of maritime hazards, such as floating debris or even encounters with unfamiliar marine animals, could quickly sap the animal's will to persist. The cognitive demands of navigating such an environment might be well beyond the innate behaviors that guide a tiger's swimming in more familiar settings. Archaeological and anecdotal evidence provides intriguing, though limited, insights into the swimming capabilities of tigers. In certain island regions, researchers have documented tigers that appear to have traveled between landmasses separated by significant stretches of water. These instances are often accompanied by observations of tigers resting on small islets or evidence of their tracks on remote shores, suggesting that they are more capable of enduring aquatic journeys than one might assume. However, the conditions in these regions are markedly different from the challenges posed by an open ocean crossing. The relatively sheltered, often warm, and shallow waters of archipelagos contrast sharply with the cold, deep, and unpredictable nature of the open sea. Even if one entertains the idea of a tiger somehow managing to embark on an oceanic voyage from Asia to the Americas, additional variables come into play. Ocean currents, for instance, are both a potential aid and a peril. Favorable currents might assist in carrying the tiger across vast distances with less exertion, but unfavorable currents could easily sweep the animal off course or exhaust its energy reserves. Similarly, the potential for the tiger to find intermediate stopping points, such as large floating mats of vegetation, icebergs, or even small islands, would be crucial to its survival. Without these temporary refuges, the journey would likely prove fatal due to the cumulative effects of fatigue, dehydration, and exposure. The notion of a tiger undertaking such a monumental journey also invites speculation about the role of human intervention or extraordinary natural events. In some science fiction narratives, animals have been known to traverse great distances due to accidental transport by storm surges, drifting ice, or even human vessels. While there is no concrete evidence to suggest that a tiger has ever made such an improbable crossing naturally, the thought experiment itself provides a valuable window into the limits of animal endurance and the remarkable adaptations that have allowed tigers to thrive in their native habitats. It underscores the idea that while tigers are formidable in many respects, there are clearly boundaries to what their physical capabilities can achieve without the assistance of an environment that supports their needs. Exploring the possibility of long-distance oceanic swimming by tigers also raises broader questions about the evolution of aquatic skills among terrestrial predators. Unlike marine mammals, which have undergone extensive adaptations to life in water, tigers have remained fundamentally terrestrial. Their evolutionary path has not demanded the kind of specialized changes that would enable them to thrive in an aquatic environment. While they have retained a natural affinity for water and can swim impressively when needed, there is a limit to how far they can extend this ability without compromising their overall survival. The energy demands of sustained swimming, the physical toll on their bodies, and the inherent dangers of the open ocean all combine to create a scenario in which an extended crossing is unlikely to be successful. Nonetheless, the idea of a tiger crossing an ocean captures the imagination precisely because it challenges our assumptions about the limits of animal behavior. It forces us to consider the interplay between biology, environment, and the sheer force of nature. It is a testament to the awe-inspiring power of evolution that a creature as formidable as the tiger could be adapted to such a wide range of habitats, from the dense, humid forests of Asia to the open, arid plains where water is scarce. And yet, despite this adaptability, there remain natural boundaries that even the most determined predator cannot overcome without the right conditions. In summary, while tigers are exceptional swimmers capable of navigating rivers, lakes, and even short stretches between islands, the prospect of a tiger swimming hundreds or thousands of miles across the open ocean remains firmly in the realm of extreme hypotheticals. The physical, physiological, and environmental challenges posed by such a journey are enormous. Saltwater exposure, energy depletion, navigational difficulties, and the sheer unpredictability of the open sea would likely prove insurmountable for even the most resilient tiger. The natural world is full of astonishing feats, And the tiger's ability to swim is certainly one of them. However, crossing an ocean, a vast, dynamic, and harsh environment, requires adaptations that go far beyond what any terrestrial predator has evolved to handle. This thought experiment ultimately serves as a reminder of the delicate balance between an animal's capabilities and the environments they inhabit. Tigers, with all their power and grace, are perfectly suited to their native habitats, where water bodies serve as both barriers and pathways. They are built to thrive in the landscapes that have shaped their evolution. And while they might occasionally venture into water in search of prey or refuge, the open ocean remains an alien realm. In contemplating such extraordinary possibilities, we gain a deeper appreciation for the intricate adaptations that allow animals to succeed within their ecological niches, and for the limits imposed by the forces of nature that even the most magnificent creatures cannot easily overcome.